Light, the seekers and sojourners of truth. 144, the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. Let me say it again. The 144, whom are the chosen of the chosen few. You know who I'm talking to. The 12 times 12, completion, cyclical completion times cyclical completion. Yes, I'm talking to you, as specifically you. You know, all of you, the yous within the yous, but the 12 times 12 that are light infused, Merkaba infused, divine infused, source infused, God body infused, talking to you. All right, as usual, I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in the divine energy essence of it all. Reporting to you live from nowhere other than 5D, 5D, the fifth dimension, in the place to be. It is where it is to be. I see you, you see me. Where else would you want to be? Ashe. And as usual, I bring you the news to infuse if you so choose to infuse with that light. And if you don't, it's your choice. But know that you refuse. And those who refuse, be prepared to get fried and on the grid. All right. Hello, hello. Greetings, all of that. Happy whatever day this is for you. We're feeling the energies of this Mercury Neptune conjunction. We're feeling the energies of what's coming up with Saturn conjunct the North Node. That's a whole nother discussion in itself. So it's an easy breezy night. And here in this hot region that is still spring is not springing. All right. And it's cool out here. I got to be out here with my jacket half mast, you know, because it's a little cool. It's a little chilly. But I don't want the jacket to block my colors because I'm feeling my colors right now. I'm in my colors. Um, but how are you? How y'all doing in the frequencies, the energies? How are you all, light bodies, God bodies, doing in these energies? Because we got to talk about it. The timelines are shifting. There was major downloads that was coming about what two days ago. Was it yesterday? See, I'm so out of time. I'm out of man's construct of time that I don't even know what that day is. It's just today. It's just every now moment. Um, is the day. The day is the now, right? So I want to talk to us about timelines. Like this has to take a bit of a serious tone, right? And I know it's late for my. I'm doing a live. Let me say this as I'm bringing some order into things within in the divine construct of things and all of the rings of things. As I close my eyes, I just saw all the rings, like the rings of things that must be done. Um, I am going to start doing lives more unless spirit say, hey, do a live right now, because I'm always obedient to spirit. But I want to stick to doing lives mainly on Saturdays. So hey, Saturday Night Live, this is our own spiritual Saturday Night Live. And I know it's late. I wanted to do it earlier. Had to take the children somewhere. I was momming, had to be momming today. So, but I wanted to get on because there's some information that we really need to know right now as the timelines are shifting. There was a certain urgency that came the other day. Believe it was yesterday, and I was just sitting in it. I think I spoke about it in my last video a little bit. And I've been explaining to you all, some of you light bodies, God bodies that may have been feeling the symptoms of the energies, the frequencies right now. You may feel the tingling, in the palms of your hands, in the soles of your feet, in your womb, if you're a man, in your sacral area. Um, you may just be feeling it sometimes flood throughout your body. It's almost like something is trickling out, or sometimes it's just like emanating. We may feel different things, um, but I was really feeling it as I'm sitting in the earth, and I had to shut out the 3D world. Some of us have to do that. Please recognize when you're in these high frequencies, high vibrations of time to shut out the world, and meaning not answer certain calls. I'm not responding to 3D. It's like I had to take that tone, like whatever it is, I'm not responding to 3D right now, because what's happening is in this split, and they feel us. They feel the split happening. This is a serious split. That's why I kept hearing The earth is moving. The earth is moving as I'm sitting there and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it right now again beneath my feet as I'm feeling it. But it was much more intense. Feeling it through my feet, and it's like I'm hearing the earth is moving, the earth is moving. There is definitely some quaking going on, like in the earth physically, but that's just a physical manifestation of what is reflecting from the esoteric or etheric realm. Meaning the timeline is splitting, right? And the split energetically is going to look like a earthquake, just how the earth is moving, right? So the timelines are shifting and moving, and it's going to snap like an earthquake snap, and there's going to be a definite split. And a lot of us are, this is the urgency that I was sensing. Like, it's like the vision I'm getting, it's like you're standing in one place and a line is cracking, like the earth is about to split, and you got to hurry up, quickly decide what side you want your feet to be on, right? Because it's a split, so you can't just stay where you can. We can't straddle the fence no more. All the fence straddlers are seriously going to get hurt right now. All the lukewarm people are really going to get hurt during this energetic split, whether it's physically or energetically, right? Hi Tyrone, I see you. I've been experiencing total stillness. Yes, okay. Locked to the ground. Yes, grounding feels like strong magnetism. That's a good way of explaining it. Thank you. It's like a magnetic pull, like you just feeling something. Sometimes I'm feeling it just pull, and it's like a connect. Like I'm feeling something in the earth. I'm feeling sometimes conversations in the earth. I'm feeling people in the earth. I'm feeling movement in the earth. Like there's just all this feeling, right? Especially, not to mention, we are in the sacral chakra season, which is the emotional body, right? Orange, the emotional body. Everything is quite sacredly. There's a lot of sacral activity going on with a lot of people as well, because we're being asked to get into our emotions, right? A lot of what we're suffering, a lot of what we're going through is coming through the emotional body. Not only that, energy in motion are the emotions moving, pushing things, right? And beneath the earth, that's what's happening. There's a movement, there's a moving. And as I'm saying that, and I was thinking about earth moving, and it was like, yeah, but the earth is always moving, right? Because I was thinking about how I'm feeling the earth moving in a way where it's like there's an earthquake. There's an earthquake about to happen. It's already happening. And the way it was kind of highlighting to me is that it's happening under the ground and people don't even realize it. You know, people are just walking around. They have no clue that the earth is already moving underneath, um, in the sense that the quaking is starting to happen, but they're not feeling it yet because it hasn't totally snapped, right? And then when I thought about it, I was like, but the earth is always moving. For those who know, who remember their geography, and they teach you that the earth really is always moving. We just don't see it because it's moving at a very slow pace. With our, if we look at it with our two eyes, it's not like you're gonna see the earth moving like water or wind. It's a very slow movement, but underneath it, down there, it's moving. And then as I said that, I thought about mutable earth, because I always wondered how could earth be mutable when you think about the mutable signs and the fixed signs and the cardinal signs. For those who don't know, cardinal means it's the leader, it's the lead sign, right? It's the first. Um, that's why Aries is a cardinal sign. It's the first of every quadrant, because there are quadrants of those 12 houses. It's a quadrant for each one. So Aries begins the first quadrant, and Cancer begins the second, Libra begins the third, Capricorn begins the fourth. Just a little 101, little Cosmo one-on-one. All right, so you think about how the that's the cardinals. That's what I was saying. And then I don't know how it got to this, because that's not what I was going to talk about, but wherever spirit has it go. Um, the fixed signs are the ones that are like, as it sounds, fixed. They're fixed. They're not mobile. They're more stable. Some consider the fixed signs stubborn, in their shadows or less evolved aspects. Yes, they're stubborn. In their higher evolved aspects, it means stability. It means they're stable and they can stay focused, right? And then you have the mutable signs. movement, a lot of movement, which is me. I'm definitely more mutable, got mutable all up in my chart. Um, Mutable. And so, anyway, that brings me to the mutable earth. And I was like, which Virgo? It's like, okay, mutable earth. The earth that would be mutable would be that earth deep, deep down. That's moving because we don't see it moving up here. It wouldn't be the mountains. You're not seeing the mountains move unless there's some kind of eruption where they shaking or an earthquake. But usually you'll see the earth move if it's underneath. That's where all the movement is happening, right? That's why you have the tectonic plates rubbing. That's the earth below that's moving. So when I thought about it, I was like, oh, so Virgo being a mutable earth sign means it's very deep, because that means deep earth. That's not surface earth. That's deep earth that moves around like that. Anyway, just threw that out there when it came to that, right? That's interesting because Aries is my sun sign and Capricorn is moon. Oh, Capricorn is your moon. Okay. A cardinal been in my bush for weeks every day. Oh, cardinals are speaking to you. It's probably telling you to pay attention to your chart, right? Your birth chart, the cardinal signs, right? You probably are a grand cardinal cross, right? Which would mean you have a placement in each one of those signs that I mentioned as cardinal signs. It's the grand cardinal cross, right? And some people have a grand fixed cross, and some people have a grand mutable cross, right? Somewhere in their chart. So, the cardinal's been speaking to you. Listen to what the cardinal has got to say. Ashe. So with that, let me get back to the focus of what's happening within the earth. So yes, the earth is moving. Yes, the energy is moving. Things are shifting, and we have to find our place of where to be. And I'm going to speak about this a little bit more because I want to give everyone I want to actually put out a live video in advance, like where they let you know, hey, in advance we're going to be doing a live. I'd like to do that, so I'm going to attempt to do that. If not, we'll just do one here, but I want to do it a little bit earlier to give more of you a chance to be listening in on that one. So here's a heads up. I'm going to share that really profound channeling that I got yesterday when I was just in that energy, and I could feel all of the light codes basically coming in and highlighting, basically like speaking to those of us who are the 144 in high definition. Like, something to understand is that we're in like a high HD, right? With those of you who are really feeling those feelings, it's like HD, high definition, fifth dimension, 5D. And to those 144, these are those souls who have made some type of cyclical completion times cyclical completion. That means you've done certain soul work, you've excavated your soul, you've had death to rebirth moments, you've completely utilized Pluto as the death to rebirth planet as it was transiting. You've completely, did ego death experience back to back to back, because it's not just one ego death. Those of you who know what time it is, you know that you end up doing it again and again for different reasons, because you have an ego death for every particular misappropriated narrative you have, right? So as many unhealed wounds that you may have, that's how many ego deaths you have to have. Because with every unhealed wound, with every hurt that has not been resolved, we have to revisit that, right? And this speaks to what is going to help you pick your foot up as the earth is splitting, as the timelines are splitting. What's going to help you pick your foot up off the ground, right? And it's going to be recognizing these ego narratives that we've told ourselves to help us protect ourselves. And what I usually tell people is that we're hardwired. The ego is hardwired to protect us. That's its job, right? So we have to drop the fears. We have to change the perspective in order to release the ego's grip of its stronghold protection. And we have to trust the process to do so. But the ego is so hardwired in that, right? So a lot of what we have, if we have any wounds, any childhood trauma, any type of trauma, any post, what do they call it again? Postpartum, any PTSD, any type of trauma, whether in this lifetime or previous lifetimes. This is what we need to really be working on. This is not the time to be hiding away and ducking away, because you're not hiding from anything, because you can't hide from yourself. But really, this is not the time to be tucking it away and saying, well, I'll wait till another day. You try waiting while an earthquake is happening. When you see the earth happening and moving, are you going to say, oh, I'm going to wait? Or are you going to make a quick decision to know what side of the earth are you going to be on? Or are you going to stand there and let the earth split as your feet fall apart? So this is why I said the straddling of the fence is not going to work. The sitting there and waiting till you make up your mind or till you get exactly what result you're looking for is not going to work, right? And this is what I'm saying to those who are on the fence. I'm like, I want to talk to a couple of us here, but I really want to speak to that 144 high definition HD into 5D group, because we have to also understand what to let go and release with our loved ones, with just others in the earth, and where to have patience, because we are being pulled higher into we're being pulled more into that timeline, and so we really have to let go of waiting for those who are not getting through, and we're going to have to find out however that may look to you, because it may be with a spouse. In most cases it's with a spouse, because it's like, I'm understanding this but my spouse is not. What do I do? And you're going to have to make a serious decision. Are you going to sit there with your spouse? This is a soul unfolding journey. This is a deep soul question. The question is what you're willing to do without. Are you willing to let your soul mission go to waste because someone here on this lifetime did not follow through in their contract? So we have to make a decision to say, this contract is not going to work anymore, right? Whether it's leaving them physically or not, you may just have to leave them energetically, right? You can still, it depends on who you are and how you can coexist, right? You can probably still coexist with them, but the way you are being is definitely going to change, and you have to be willing to respect each other's space, right? And it's definitely going to take work. So it's really calling us to have patience, those of us that are in that bracket, and being called into that arena. And we have to be walking in love. We have to carry love. We are the keepers of that frequency. We are the watchers of, pretty much, of that frequency, the love frequency. So we are responsible for keeping that frequency, keeping that love, being in love with still what's going on, seeing the beautiful changes even though it doesn't feel so beautiful. And we have to be able to hold that frequency, because these changes are going to be very shaky. So our love is what's going to hold. We have to hold to the one mind consciousness. We have to look at the bigger picture, recognize what's what, remove all expectations. Right? There's something very, like, it's calling. See out, the wind is blowing right now. Listen to the wind. Sometimes just sit with the wind, ground, sit in the earth, right? And just really allow that energetic body called the wind to flow through you. Take a deep breath within, and to gain some answers. Go into your higher self. If you don't know what to do, be in the stillness. Do nothing in confusion. This goes for anybody. Like how they say God is never in the midst of confusion. The divine is never in the midst of confusion. Your higher self is never in the midst of confusion. So be still and know that I am. Be I am that I am. Be aligned with your I am. You don't have to have no answers. Just be still in that, because believe me, the answers are coming. And if you be still with a certain receptivity, which means the ego has to be removed, right? With a certain receptivity means you need a radical humility in your ego. You know that quote, the wisest man knows he knows nothing at all? That's what we have to be saying to ourselves. I know nothing. I heard something that I feel is very important. I said it to someone earlier today. It was mainly to be shared with them, but I can share it with us all. Is there is power in not understanding. Think about that when you're with yourself, because that will help break the ego's grip as well. When you say to yourself, you know what, there's power in not understanding. That means I don't need to understand it all. I don't need to know it all. I don't need to know the details, which is South Node in Virgo. Where our South Node is right now, it's challenging us to release the need to know of every single detail before we make a step. We don't need to know the details. There is power in me not understanding and trusting the bigger picture and walking in faith. I don't need to know every little detail. That is an egoic grip that wants control. That is the narcissistic spectrum of our soul that feels like it has to control and needs it, right? So this is some of the things that I was hearing in the whispers in the wind. At that time, it was in the sun. It was in the light codes of the sun, right? See, I'm not lying. The wind is whispering, right? My hardest irritation. Yes, this is why I'm saying it. It's like something is saying this needs to be said. So for whoever needs to hear it, share it with whoever you need to share it with, because this is the hard truth of what needs to be done. If you're going to shift into your next timeline, you're going to be your only block from the next timeline, and it's because of the contraband that you carry. And I'm going to keep speaking about that, because that's how it was played to me. It was like they're held back by the contraband in their consciousness, because you can't get past the checkpoint with those egoic grips, those egoic holes. And I'm not talking about this puffed up ego. The ego shows up in many ways. We have a gentle egoic grip, because as I said, the ego is hardwired to protect. So it may look like, oh, I'm just protecting you. There's a way where the ego has it beautifully wrapped where it just looks like caution. Don't confuse. There's a fine line between caution and fear. It is still some type of fear. You're cautionary, and you're being so careful because you are afraid of something that will happen. But people do not like to admit that fear. I literally had a conversation with someone, and we're saying the same thing, but she refuses to admit that it is fear. And I'm saying, yes, you're right. She's given me all the reasons of why she's doing what she's doing, why she's being the way she's being. And, oh, because you never know how people are out there. Yes, we never know. We don't know. But you're moving in fear, and you're disguising it as caution. And the ego has a lovely way of wrapping that up for you with a nice little bow tie, so that you truly believe that you're being cautioned. And some people may say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, if you're here to have a soul unfolding experience, you're not allowing yourself to have that experience. You're driving in life while pumping the brakes. You're pumping the brakes every step. And I'm not saying there's a balance to this, because I'm not saying go out there and live life wild and crazy. There's wisdom, there's balance. But if you are being careful out of fear of this happening to you, then you're not allowing the experience to happen so that you can transmute and transcend it, right? So it's an ego. It's giving the ego a reason to do what it does. And not only just in that one circumstance, it expands. So that one thing that you think you're protecting, that you're saying, I want to keep this safe, I want to be safe, it expands to another concept in your mind. They're interconnected. And you give the ego a right. See, we got to be real careful. The ego is a master manipulator in our own mind. Don't worry about somebody out there manipulating you. You got a manipulator here. And the ego, that misappropriated ego, is a master manipulator in your own mind. So it will hold something and say, yep, see that right there? And then it connects it to everything else to give it a reason for why you got to be protective there, careful there, cautious there, protect, protect, protect. And then you block yourself before you turn around. You're living in a life in such an egoic protective bubble, and you don't even know it, because it's disguised as safety, right? Safety in the root chakra. This is why the number one block of the root is fear, because people want to feel safe. And again, nothing wrong with that. But when we understand our divinity and we realize that we are safe in the earth no matter what happens, that means even if I should die and lose my flesh, it is simply a transition. It's the ego that has a fear of transitioning. I'm not saying run crazy into death. I'm not saying kill, shouldn't say this word probably on here, but I'm not saying off yourself. But what I'm saying is do not fear what shall happen, because what shall happen is what is to happen. And if it shall, then it is so. And it is a transition for you to grow, whether physically, energetically, spiritually. But when we walk in fear, we give the ego too much strength. And that's the contraband that we walk with. So I say that so that we understand on the multitude of levels, because I'm speaking to you all on it's not just one level. So faithfully, you open your consciousness, expand your consciousness, and receive this on the multiple levels that you can. I petition to your ancestors, to your angels, to your guides, to all the angles of light, your higher self. I petition to all many facets and aspects of you that you expand your mind and see this on the multiple dimensions of your soul. Ashe? Because this is really important. This timeline shift is a major one. This is a checkpoint. That's what I want us to understand. Check point. And that's why we can't pass the checkpoint with contraband. So you will be your own block by that egoic hold that wants to protect. It's going to make you be stopped at the checkpoint. And as the timelines are splitting, you're making that decision by what you do. That's what I want to say. It's not as easy as pick up your foot, and it's not as easy as saying, well, I want to stand over here in 5D, right? 3D, 5D, yes, that split is happening. And it's not as simple as saying, I want to stand over here. It doesn't work that way. Your decision is made by the choices that you're making in your everyday to-day lifestyle. If you're still moving through, you could be doing all the spiritual things you're doing in the world. If you have not released something, that one thing, it's just like when you pass checkpoint, that one thing in your bag is going to cause you to not be able to pass checkpoint. So everything else can be fine. You could, hey, I'm a spiritual this and I do that and I sage and I cleanse I do a bath cleanse and I do rituals and I do full moon release, all of this. I go to church, I go to mosque, you can do all of this, but if you're in your inner world, if in the innermost parts, in the inner courts of your mind and your soul, if you're still holding on to that contraband, and it could be that one little thing, you will not pass that checkpoint. And so as the timelines are splitting, you're going to fall by default on that side, on the shadows of 3D. I don't care how much you want to get onto that next timeline. And you will block yourself from your own timeline shift. Right? And this is very serious because a lot of people are not recognizing that. Please separate yourself from the to-do things in the 3D world that you are making your priority. In times like this, we got to extract out of the 3D world, whatever it is, job, family, friends, everything that you made is a priority. You're on an instant fast track right now to change that perspective. Flip it. Make it not the priority. And make your higher self and your higher consciousness be that priority, whatever it is. Again, you don't have to have all the answers. Just say yes to the universe. Just say yes to your higher self. And detach. This is why I did the Detox to Detach program. And those who are in it, they know what time it is. We know we closing out our last week. And it was a great practice so that you can watch your thoughts. It wasn't just about food, but the food plays an important part, because when you take away the food, your gremlin starts to act up. Your hungry gremlin starts to act up. And the cravings start. But the cravings show you your emotions. And the emotions show you what is driving certain things in your soul, if you give yourself a chance to look at it. Because it's not just enough to have the emotion, but we need to be able to investigate the emotion so that we can extract what we need to extract out of the emotion, and then change the perspective of that emotion to a true perspective in the energy body, in the feelings. And that true perspective gives back to the third eye what that perspective is, because the sacral and the third eye work hand in hand. The sacral being the emotional body, and this being the transcendent body, your third eye. So when you change the meaning in your feelings, when you flip the script and you change the perspective, you send that energy back up into the third eye, bing, and your personal perspective changes. You come out of a personal bias to integrating with the perspective of others, and it's like, oh, okay, it's an all of us thing. It's a we are one thing. And that you gain a true perspective that helps to clear your third eye from what you can't see. Those fears that you thought you see, when you change your perspective in the emotional body, it clears it up here, and then it goes, now look at this. It changes the projector on your screen. Now look at this. Now look at how this is playing out in your life, world, and affairs. Now can you see the truth of how you showed up for yourself? Can you see the truth of how you've enabled yourself? Can you have true accountability? But you have to get through your feelings. We have to release that contraband that the ego is holding, right? And it may feel hard at first, like it's because your ego is used to, it's this narrative that you played, and you sometimes can't get around it. But we have to catch ourselves and just release it. Release it and let it go. And this is what's being asked right now. We are at the checkpoint part of this split. I've been hearing some say, thank you, Bug. I've been hearing some say, this is the final split in within 5D. It's like you may hear some people say that this is a big one. This is the final split, right? And in some ways it is, but there's more splitting. This is not the end. This is not the last split within 5D, because we're only the beginning. So what I was being guided to share is that, to correct that in understanding that this may be the final within this phase, put it that way, because we're still in the infant phase of 5D. So in its infant stage, it's like this is the final split of that part, and now we're moving to another part, right? Because this whole earth is in 5D, 4-4 foundational balance. This whole earth is in 5D, right? And I had to tell someone that today. It's like, it's not just where I am. We are all in the fifth dimension. So it is for us to realize, it's just that some are more awakened to it than others, but we're all here in the fifth dimension. So it is for us to find where we are. What level, what tier are you on within the fifth dimension? Because there's levels and levels within levels to each one. We're all in the fifth dimension, but some are still living in the shadows of 3D. Some are living in 3D, maybe not so much in the shadows, but they're still tethered to 3D concepts. Money is still an issue. If you haven't yet realized that money is a complete illusion, and I don't mean just say it, and you hear me say this a lot, because a lot of us are not recognizing that. And that's one of the things that I'm seeing around, that there's still this, I still hear the statements of, well, you got to have money to do this, right? And it's like, but if you keep saying that, you keep lighting up your ego to hold on to that narrative. We have to change these spells. Money does not make the world go round and round and round. The world has been going round and round and round before money even came into play to be used. These are truths that we got to tell ourselves and remind ourselves. Does money make the world go round? Or has the world been going around for money to be made? Right? We have to really let go of these old concepts. Oh, family is blood, is everything. You got to do this and that. Do I? Or is it that family is who do the works of the will of the Father with me? Where do we think that we are obligated to being tied into these possessions? Because remember, family is like, it's a possessive noun. My family, my this, my that. These are possessive nouns. We have to release, right? And as I say release, that's what I wanted to share with you as I'm speaking about the timeline splitting and us letting go of the contraband in our consciousness. That's going to be the key. The key is, what can you get out of your suitcase that you're trying to carry with you across the checkpoint that doesn't belong? That's going to be the key. Ask yourself that. What can I do without? This is a time where we need to be thinning out our life, world, and affairs. What is it that I need? Think of it like there's a major storm. As I said, we quaking, the earth is moving. And if you know something major is happening and you know, okay, I got to get out of town, everything can't go. What can I do without? Think about it like that within your soul. What can I do without? Right? And so release, because these are some cards that I'm sharing with you all, the cards that I've been sharing in. This is actually from the detox group for the day, and I thought that this was very relevant. So the release card here, it's a sacral card, and it's about releasing and the sacral letting go. I mean, and I can give you the affirmations as well, as if I could see it in this light. Um, I release, I release repressed and trapped emotions and their associated beliefs with ease and grace. So I release repressed and trapped emotions and their associated belief with ease and grace. This is something we need to affirm within ourselves of what we're letting go, right? Where appropriate, I let go of the people and situations that perpetrate. Oh man, now I can't see it in this light, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. That perpetrate heat and I can't even see that word. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have came out here with my glasses, and the light is a little dim. Um, yeah, just know that I release. I can't. I should have came out here with the glasses. My fault. But the main thing is that it's a release card. So find some affirmations that will help you release. And I'm seeing 5-5, physical, spiritual balance, right? So that's confirmation of that. We need physical, spiritual balance, right? And so those of you are here 5-5, yeah, those you're in that group of physical, spiritual balance, right? And that is releasing. So letting go, and why the release is so important. The card that came right behind that was actually a bridge card, because it has the blue, so it looks like sacrally and third eye-ish. So I started to call for the third eye card, and that's exactly what came next, a third eye card. And it's about protection, which is what I spoke about earlier. And this goes really good with the release, because we need to release that egoic hold of feeling the need for protection, and in our third eye knowing that the protection is already there, right? It's whether, and no matter what bad thing happens, we have to stop running away from the bad thing that happens and accept whatever it is as it is. And so with this, we see that, let me see if I can at least see the first one. And it starts with I release. I release the need for armor and protection, as I recognize that I am always guided and safe. As I recognize that I'm always guided and safe. So that's the first step in this, is releasing the need for armor. Because that's, like I said, when you do that, it helps loosen the grip of the ego. Because the ego, it's like a natural knee-jerk reaction is for the ego to clench, to be like, oh, I got you. You know, that's that superhero in you that's waiting on a damsel in distress, you know. And that's your subconscious when I think about it now. So funny. Because the conscious is the masculine energy and the subconscious is a feminine energy. So the ego, which exists in the masculine energy of consciousness, is waiting on the hurt feeling. As soon as you're hurt, it's a damsel in distress, because all of a sudden your subconscious becomes the damsel in distress. Whatever hurt it is, that's why you got to watch it. Be careful. Every time you get your feelings hurt, really quicken yourself and be like, hold on. Because you got a nice little ego over there going, somebody's hurt. Da-da-da-da, to the rescue. Let me put on my super cape. I got the perfect narrative to cover this with my super cape. This is the interplay in our conscious and our subconscious mind, and it happens so quick. You won't see it, even in the way that I'm explaining it. you won't see it because it happens so intrinsically. It happens so simultaneously. As quick as the hurt comes is as quick as the ego comes. Unless you're on guard in your soul. You have to be a true watchman of your soul, that's why I do the work that I do. When you're a shadow worker, those who are not scared of doing shadow work and excavating your soul, those are the ones who are hard watchers of their soul. So anytime something comes up, it's like, that's why I always say I'm a hostile environment for demonic energy and parasitic energy, because the demonic energy and the parasitic energy needs your ego to thrive. It needs your hurt ego to thrive. And I don't let my ego stay hurt. I don't sit in my ego with hurt. When hurt comes, I process it in the right way, because I got to be watching. It's like I'm that serious night man on watch. Like as soon as I get hurt, I'm on watch. Like no ego. We're not hurt. No, we don't put that down. It's like that's the Christ. Yes, that's that Christ consciousness. When Peter wanted to cut off the man ear, and Jesus, put that down, Peter. What I told you. Have you not been walking with me? Have you not learned? We had the same problem with you walking on water, Peter. Same problem. I told you to come to me. You took a few steps, got scared, looked down, and fell. And that's what happens. We don't stand on truth. We don't stand on water. Don't let me get metaphysical with y'all, because the water represents emotions. So we don't stand on our emotions. You see how Christ can walk on emotions? That represents your Christ consciousness that can walk on the emotions. And what happens is we get in our ego and that masculine energy. It want to do like Peter, and it want to protect. I got to protect you. It's like, This is why you got to have a good Christ consciousness in your soul. That no matter what offense comes to you, you stop it right there, and you do not give the ego a chance to even start editing and writing the narrative. No ego. And hold on, let me see what you got there. Give me that. Ooh, this is from 1974. I'm gonna need to, let that go too, ego. Yeah, that's what we got to do. It's that serious. We got to get in the ego and let go of that contraband in our consciousness. Your ego's fears, your egoic grip, your safety net is the contraband that you're walking with. No excuses. I have to say that, because you were saying, people say, but this happened to me and but that happened to me. Listen, no excuses. No matter what it is that happened to you, you do not get to hold that grudge. You do not get to hold that hate. You do not get to hold that unforgiveness, that anger, that fear of it ever happening again. Because when you trust, this protection says, I release that situation so that I know that I am always protected, I'm always guided, and I'm always safe. And when you trust what you now know, you should trust that you won't fall back down that road. That happened because you didn't know better. Do you know better now? These are the questions we should ask ourselves. Do you know better now? And if you know better, then what are you worrying about? Release that. Let it go. Protection. And one of the things that I would say is like, is it really that you want to protect? Or is it really that you want to neglect? That's something we need to ask ourselves, because when you step up to protect, you neglect. You neglect your soul from having the experience that it needs to have. You neglect your spirit, because the spirit doesn't walk with the fear. The spirit knows that it is the protection, and it accepts anything that happens because it understands that it is infinite. So the fear that you're walking in is a finite experience. And so these timelines are these checkpoints are here. It's here for it all with these timelines. Oh, I didn't read the bottom part. So at the bottom part of protection, it says, all is perfect just as it is, which is what I've been saying. When we walk with this as an affirmation, hey, all is perfect just as it is. But what if this happens? All is perfect just as it is. And I run from nothing. I run from no thing. And this is how you let the ego go and you get that contraband out your bag so that you can cross the checkpoint as the timelines are splitting and you don't have to fall by default on that other side. And it is happening. Look out especially for when Saturn, coming up in just what, a day or two, I forgot what day it is, but Saturn is conjunct with our North Node. Saturn that's closing out that karmic cycle, coming to an end, analytical degrees at the end of Pisces, as it's like they're passing each other like this because the nodes go in the opposite direction. So Saturn is on his way out. The nodes of faith are coming, and this is our North Node. So it's our destiny. It's the destined coordinates that we are supposed to go towards, right? Not destiny as in this must happen this way, but it is our destined coordinates, the North Node. It's taking that on as Saturn is saying, hey, here it is. Everything, all of the karmic stuff, everything is coming to a head. It's like, it's almost like that is the major checkpoint right there. And it's not a checkpoint in that way either, but it's like that's part of the checkpoint. That's saying, hey, it's giving you an overview. It's giving you a chance to say, look at this. It's the analytical degrees. So Saturn is saying, I've been in here this whole time since March of 2023. This is last call for alcohol. Get your ish together. Like, here it is. And I'm passing this on to the destiny of fate going on in that direction. I'm passing on wherever you left it. This is for you, not for Saturn. The energies are helping us, so but it's saying wherever you left it, whatever you chose to get, whatever you chose not to get, wherever you left it, whatever you received or didn't receive, that's what's going into the nodes of fate. That's going to determine how you enter into your higher timeline if you get a chance to pass checkpoint. So be on the lookout. Right, and I like I said, I got the download for it. This is like I have it to share with you all, and I'll probably do it in I don't know if I'm gonna do a live. I'm still listening to Spirit because Spirit wants me to share it where more ears can hear it, type of thing. Like, go tell it on the mountain. That's what I'm hearing. Go tell it on the mountain. Like, get to the top of the mountain. I need you to shine. I need you to shout it. So I'm gonna be obedient, and I'm gonna send these coordinates to who it is showing me to send it to, and then we'll go from there. We'll see who is obedient with picking that up, because the last time I got these hits like this, I'm telling you all, this was 2022 5D independence, and there was a major shift happening at that point, and I was starting to make call outs for those who are there. When I make the call, you know, listen out. You might want to sign up. Don't hesitate. If it's for you, if you're saying, yep, this is for me, I'm ready to go. When I make the call, you may want to pick up that phone if it's for you. It's not for everybody, right? Find your group. If you hear the call and maybe it's time for you to get your group together. You probably already have a collective group and a soul tribe, but now it's time for you all to do something together that is going to exercise all of you in these affairs that can help you get rid of the contraband. From diet, like what I'm doing now, things like this, from changing your diet, detox to detach, to having discussions about your energy centers or your natal chart. Like, these are things that we need to be, and this is for the higher, the 144, the complete of the complete. You have to be the ones, we are the ones that are the bridge. We're helping to bridge, right? We're bridging those over. So we need to be having these workshops or these group activities or projects where it allows us to exercise, so to speak, exercise the demons, right? Which are the unhealed wounds. So, and when you work together, we help hold each other accountable. That I can say in every group. It's always been successful that way because we hold each other accountable. So I'm putting this out there literally for everyone to understand, overstand, and understand what part you play, where you at, whether you're just waking up, whether you're a chosen or the chosen of the chosen few. If you are the 144, which again is not a number, completion people, then we are tasked with this next step, which is providing either one-on-ones, whatever it is that can help those bridge and cross the timelines if they want to. It's not to go out and make anybody. Do not impose on anybody, but we need to be able to we need to be able to facilitate, have the services available, right? You don't have to have nothing big and fancy. Everybody knows how to have Zoom. Everyone can open up a Zoom. You don't have to wait till, well, I'm waiting till I get to here and I'm waiting till I start up my YouTube page and I'm waiting till, you don't have to wait on anything. Any page that you have, everybody has a Facebook, a Instagram, a TikTok, whatever you have, communicate. Mercury communication. Communicate. Speak so we can expand the bandwidth and have something available. Don't think that you're too small. You don't have to have no big following. We just need to speak up and speak out and communicate and share the good news. This is like when, Yeshua sent everybody else out there, share the gospel, evangelize. Don't go knocking on nobody's door. But I'm saying share the good news. This is the good news that we need to say, hey, this is what's happening. Did you know? Just put it out there. If it's for you, it's for you. If they're for you, they'll come. And if this encourages you to find your group, start your group, great. It doesn't have to be with me. But we just gotta be evolved, right? In our internal revenue. Be responsible for your internal revenue. Ashe? Because the timelines are splitting and look, you got to know what side of the fence you want to be on. Like I said, straddlers going to get hurt. So let's get it together. Thank you for those of you who came through. Tyron, it's always a pleasure. Anybody here have any questions before I go? Like I usually have the live and I know people come through and, I want us to start interacting a little bit more, especially when I do Saturday Night Live. If anybody have a question, now would be the time. This is a little Q&A we got going on. You got a question, you got a comment, anything like that. My 5 for 5 up in here, 5 for 5 out of the 5. If anyone has anything, now would be the time. All right, so Tyrone, yes. The live was great. Thank you. Who's that? Christina, it says. And I left my glasses inside. And the words be looking like this. This live was great. We're welcome. Glad you can get something out of it. Do you have a question, Christina? Anything at all? I was like, something said, I need to start doing that more. Like, anybody got a question? Towards the end, we're going to start leaving it open for if you have a question at all. And with that reminds me, I may start doing some type of podcast. Look out for that, where we can interact with like another guest or someone else who has an insight on something. No big show or nothing. Just pinging off of each other and then having questions thereafter. So it's like Spirit is telling me I need to practice having questions. Questions. When is your next detach? I would like to join. Detox and detach. I did the last one a couple months ago. I was thinking that I would do it every 6 months. That seems about right. But what I would do, I'm listening for Spirit right now since I got that major download, because I know it wants me to have something for a group of us like right now as these energies are transitioning. So it may not be in the same way. But I'm listening for the instructions of how it is to be done. And as you say that, it may be another detox, like following right behind. Even if I don't participate exactly how I've done now, because look, y'all, I'm too slim to be losing weight. Like, we've been doing this for 4 weeks, and I'm like, I need to put some foods back in me. But for now, I may do another one just to let you know that since you asked, we may do it earlier than 6 months because of the intensity of these frequencies and the urgency of what's happening within these frequencies with the timeline splitting. And it's showing an urgency that a lot more people are going to need this detox to detach, whether they do it with me or anywhere else, but I should be one of them that continue to provide it. So we may have one. It may not be as intense as this one, or maybe it will be. It might be, because when it's an accelerated pace, okay, spirit, correction. Yes, it will be intense, because when it's an accelerated pace, it may be for 1 week or 2 weeks instead of four. And when it's accelerated, it's more intense, and especially with the frequencies that's going to be hitting right now. So look out for it. Email me if you want me to. Email me at divineenergystudio.com if you want me to send you any information on it. This goes for anyone that's interested in the next detox to detach. Email me and I'll be able to send that to you. And remember, we also have the solar plexus workshop coming up, but we may have a root and sacral, because that's something else it was showing me, that before you do the solar plexus, and believe me, y'all, I was like, ah, more work. Like, when spirit is like telling me what needs to be done, it's like I just can't argue with it. So we may do a root, just because of the accelerated pace of what's happening right now, and there's some people that are just waking up, and they may need a chakra 101, and we may need to go back to the base. So we may need to go back to the root before even jumping into the sacral. Those who have been with me, they know, and they can jump into the sacral. But for some who may just be coming in, they may need the root first. So spirit is guiding me to say, do the root and the sacral over, because I did it already last year. We did the root, and we did the 3-day workshop on the root and the sacral. So it's guiding me to do it over. So that may be another one. I've been following instructions too. Yep, I'm in full salute to the 21-day fasting from Solid. Go ahead, go ahead. And what it says, I think, you visit the beach daily, which is good. It's good to sit in the beach. It's a place where you get all four elements: earth, fire, wind, and water. Now is definitely the time, and your soul will, yep, lead you to do the work, as it has been. Like, it's like, woo, when we pass these energies, when I finally get a chance to just release, because it takes a lot when I'm doing a lot of this. It takes a lot. Plus, I have 4 children. So it's not easy. Thank you. We'll send you an email. Yes, please do. I'll look out for it. I'll be looking for you. Looking for you. I know you ready. Or you wouldn't ask and you wouldn't be here. Those of you who are here and came through, the message is definitely for you. But how you take it and what you do with it is also on you. Right? So what happened in 2022, because that's when I experienced an awakening, and the 21-day fast now in 2025 feel like I'm awakening and fasting again. Exactly. It's like a repeat. So what happened in 2022 was in February 22nd, February 22, 2022 was the day that, if you look on my calendar, if you have a calendar, it would say 5D independence, because that was the Pluto return, right? And it was when Pluto returned to where it was when USA, July 1776, when USA got its independence. And usually when this happens, the last time that happened before USA was with Rome, right? So usually whenever this happens, one country or nation falls and collapses, and another one rises. But in 2022, it was highlighting to me there's not going to be another country that rises, because the next thing is 5D. So the next Independence Day would be the 5th dimension. We are to be sovereign souls, and that's what happened pretty much in 2022, that I had been pioneering. I had been called in by the light bodies, the upper light bodies, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians. At that time, I didn't know what the heck was going on, but then later found out, you're in the midst of a Pleiadian council. The information that I was getting was like, these are not even words that I speak. So, yeah, they was ushering in, and it wasn't just me, it was other groups. They were showing me how there's other groups. You may not see them, you may not know them, but they are throughout the globe. They are all working on the light grid activation, as so are you. I didn't even know what light grid was at that moment. But that's what they were letting me know, that this is what's happening on the light grid, and what you all are doing are now sealing. It's an energetic seal of the light grid, is what was happening around 2022. Ashe. So, maybe I need to do a little informational replay on that. Thank you for asking about that as well. So, with that, we got some work to do, y'all. Get rid of this contraband as the timelines are splitting, this contraband in our consciousness, and be prepared for the split. It's nothing to be scared about, but we just want to put our feet where they need to be, meaning your understanding. Get your understanding where it needs to be, and remember, there is power in not understanding. Say that so that you loosen the grip of the ego. Like, ego, you don't need to know. Mind your business. I need to grow. You don't need to know. I need to grow. Ashe? So with that said, love you all. Love, love, love. Thank you for enjoying the Saturday Night Live, and we're going to do our best to keep it up. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light. Ashe out.